All right, gentlemen, let's talk about something you've probably noticed but haven't said out loud. You're eating clean. You're doing the chia seeds in the morning smoothie. Maybe you've read all the articles about omega-3s and heart health. You're trying. You're doing what the internet told you would work. But here's the uncomfortable truth. If you're over 40 and you're still waiting for those chia seeds to deliver on the promise of better energy, sharper performance, and yes, the kind of vitality that makes you feel like yourself again, you're missing the critical piece of the puzzle. I'm Dr. Matthew Harris. For the last 12 years as a urologist, I've sat across from thousands of men who walked into my office frustrated, confused, and honestly, a little defeated. They've tried the supplements, they've changed their diets, they've done everything right on paper, but the results just aren't there. And what I've learned through years of clinical practice and working with real patients, not theories, is this. Chia seeds are powerful, but they're incomplete. They're like putting premium fuel in a car with a clogged fuel line. The potential is there, but the delivery system is broken. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to add to those chia seeds to unlock their full potential and finally see the real results you've been chasing. Before we go any further, if you're here because you genuinely want answers that actually work, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button. It tells me you're serious and it helps this reach other men who need it. And drop a comment below. Tell me where you're watching from. I love seeing how far this community reaches. All right, let's dive in. Here's what most guys don't understand about chia seeds. Yes, they're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid or ALA. And yes, ALA is a type of omega-3 that supports cardiovascular health, reduces inflammation, and theoretically benefits testosterone production. But here's the catch. Your body has to convert ALA into the active forms of omega-3, EPA and DHA, the ones that actually do the heavy lifting. And that conversion process, it's notoriously inefficient, especially as you age. Studies show that less than 10% of the ALA you consume from chia seeds actually gets converted into EPA and DHA. That means 90% of the omega-3 benefit you think you're getting is slipping through your fingers. Now let me be clear. I'm not saying chia seeds are useless. They're not. They provide fiber, they stabilize blood sugar, they offer some cardiovascular support. But if you're eating chia seeds hoping they'll reignite your energy, sharpen your mental clarity, improve your circulation, and restore that reliable morning confidence you used to have, you're going to be disappointed. Because chia seeds alone are operating at 10% efficiency. We need to take that 10% and turn it into 100%. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you. What I'm going to share with you today isn't internet folklore. It's not some trend I saw on social media. Everything I'm walking you through is rooted in peer-reviewed medical research and the real-world experiences of my patients. Men who were exactly where you are right now, frustrated, trying everything, not seeing results. And then they made these specific additions, and everything changed. This is about precision. This is about making your body work smarter, not harder. And it starts with understanding what your body actually needs after 40. Here's what's happening inside your body right now. Your testosterone levels are declining by about 1% per year after age 30. By the time you're 50, you've lost 20% or more. Your blood vessels are getting stiffer. The endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels, is losing its flexibility. This is called endothelial dysfunction, and it's the root cause of poor circulation, weak erections, low energy, and that overall feeling of being off. Your body's natural production of nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for dilating blood vessels and enabling blood flow, is plummeting. Without nitric oxide, nothing else matters. No amount of chia seeds, no amount of exercise, no amount of wishful thinking will restore what you've lost. So here's the mission. We're going to target 3 critical pathways. Blood flow optimization through nitric oxide production, hormonal support to protect and potentially elevate testosterone, and cellular health to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation. These 3 pathways are the foundation of male vitality after 40. And when you pair chia seeds with the right synergistic ingredients, you create a compound effect that doesn't just add up, it multiplies. Let me walk you through the 5 essential additions you need to make to your chia seeds starting today. Think of this as your personal upgrade protocol. We're going to count them down, and by the end, you'll have a complete system that you can implement immediately. Number 5, watermelon or watermelon extract. Now, I know what you're thinking. Watermelon? That's a summer snack. But here's what makes watermelon a game changer for men over 40. It's one of the richest natural sources of L-citrulline, an amino acid that your body converts directly into L-arginine, which then becomes nitric oxide. Remember, nitric oxide is the master switch for blood flow. Without it, your blood vessels stay constricted, your circulation suffers, and everything downstream, energy, performance, mental clarity, starts to decline. Studies have shown that L-citrulline supplementation significantly improves vascular function and enhances blood flow, particularly in men with mild to moderate vascular issues. One clinical trial found that men who supplemented with L-citrulline experienced measurable improvements in erectile hardness and overall satisfaction. And here's the beautiful part. Unlike L-arginine supplements, which get broken down quickly in the digestive system, L-citrulline bypasses that process and delivers a sustained release of nitric oxide over several hours. So how do you use it? If you're making a chia seed smoothie or pudding, throw in a cup of fresh watermelon. If fresh watermelon isn't practical, you can find pure watermelon extract powder or L-citrulline supplements. The target dose is around 3 to 6 grams of L-citrulline daily. That's roughly equivalent to about 4 cups of fresh watermelon, which I realize is a lot, so supplementation is often more practical. The point is this: you're giving your body the raw material it needs to produce nitric oxide on demand. You're turning on the faucet. What does this mean for you emotionally? It means you're taking back control. You're not waiting for your body to fail you. You're proactively giving it what it needs to perform. That's dignity. That's agency. And that feeling, the feeling of being proactive instead of reactive, is half the battle. Number 4, pomegranate juice or extract. This is where things get really interesting. Pomegranate has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, but modern science has finally caught up and confirmed what ancient healers knew intuitively. Pomegranate is one of the most potent antioxidants on the planet, and it has a direct, measurable impact on male sexual health and vascular function. A randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind clinical trial published in the International Journal of Impotence Research examined 53 men with mild to moderate erectile dysfunction. Half drank pomegranate juice daily, half drank a placebo. After just a few weeks, 47% of the men in the pomegranate group reported significant improvement in erectile function, compared to only 31% in the placebo group. Now, those might not sound like overwhelming numbers, but remember, this was a small pilot study. The fact that nearly half of the participants saw real improvement from just drinking juice is remarkable. Here's why pomegranate works. It's loaded with polyphenols and flavonoids, powerful antioxidants that protect the endothelial lining of your blood vessels from oxidative damage. Oxidative stress is one of the primary drivers of endothelial dysfunction, and when your endothelium is damaged, your blood vessels can't dilate properly. Pomegranate essentially shields your blood vessels from that damage and helps restore their natural elasticity. Additionally, pomegranate has been shown to increase nitric oxide bioavailability, meaning it helps your body use the nitric oxide it produces more effectively. How do you add it to chia seeds? Simple. Mix a quarter cup of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice into your chia pudding or smoothie. If you prefer supplements, look for pomegranate extract standardized to 40% ellagic acid, which is the active compound. The typical dose is 500 to 1,000 milligrams daily. Here's what this really means. You're not just masking symptoms, you're addressing the root cause. You're protecting your vascular system at the cellular level. That's not a band-aid, that's real foundational change. And when you start feeling the difference, when you wake up with more energy, when you notice that mental fog lifting, when you feel that spark coming back, you'll understand why this matters. Number 3, pumpkin seeds or zinc supplementation. Let me tell you something that most men don't realize. Zinc deficiency is epidemic among men over 40. And zinc is absolutely critical for testosterone production. In fact, research shows that men with zinc deficiency can experience a 75% drop in testosterone levels within just 6 months. Let that sink in. 3/4 of your testosterone, gone, because you're not getting enough of a single mineral. Zinc is involved in nearly every stage of testosterone synthesis. It helps convert cholesterol into testosterone. It protects testosterone from being converted into estrogen. It supports the health of Leydig cells in the testes, which are the factories that produce testosterone. Without adequate zinc, your testosterone production line shuts down. The problem is that as you age, your ability to absorb zinc decreases. Stress depletes zinc. Alcohol depletes zinc. Even intense exercise depletes zinc. So even if you think you're eating a balanced diet, you might be running on empty. And when your zinc levels drop, your testosterone follows. And when your testosterone drops, everything else follows. Energy, muscle mass, libido, confidence, mental sharpness, it all declines together. Pumpkin seeds are one of the best natural sources of zinc. Just 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds contains about 2 to 3 milligrams of zinc, and the recommended daily intake for men is around 11 milligrams, though many functional medicine practitioners suggest 15 to 30 milligrams for men over 40, especially if you're dealing with low testosterone symptoms. Here's how you use pumpkin seeds with chia. Add a tablespoon or two of raw or lightly roasted pumpkin seeds to your chia pudding or smoothie. They add a nice texture, a nutty flavor, and a serious hormonal boost. If you prefer supplementation, look for a high-quality zinc supplement. Zinc picolinate or zinc glycinate are the most bioavailable forms. Avoid zinc oxide, which is poorly absorbed. What does this mean for your life? It means you're giving your body the tools it needs to maintain healthy testosterone levels naturally. You're not relying on synthetic hormones or expensive therapies. You're working with your body's own physiology. That's empowerment. That's taking your health into your own hands. And when you start feeling stronger, when you start noticing your workouts improving, when you start feeling more like yourself again, you'll know you made the right call. Number 2, dark leafy greens or beet powder. All right, stay with me here. I know dark leafy greens don't sound sexy, but if you want to talk about real results, if you want to talk about dramatically increasing nitric oxide production and improving circulation, this is non-negotiable. Dark leafy greens like spinach, arugula, kale, and Swiss chard, along with beets, are absolutely loaded with dietary nitrates. And dietary nitrates are converted in your body into nitric oxide through a completely different pathway than L-citrulline. This is huge. You've got 2 pathways working simultaneously. The L-citrulline from watermelon gives you sustained nitric oxide production over several hours. The nitrates from leafy greens and beets give you a rapid spike in nitric oxide within 30 to 60 minutes. Together, they create a 1-2 punch that keeps your blood vessels dilated and your circulation optimized all day long. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that dietary nitrate supplementation significantly improved vascular function and reduced blood pressure in middle-aged and older adults. Another study in the journal Hypertension demonstrated that just 1 glass of beet juice daily lowered blood pressure by an average of 10 points within hours. That's comparable to some blood pressure medications, but it's coming from food. Here's how you add it to chia. If you're making a chia smoothie, throw in a big handful of fresh spinach or arugula. You won't taste it, I promise. If you're making chia pudding, stir in a teaspoon of organic beet powder. It'll give your pudding a slightly earthy flavor and a beautiful deep red color. If you want to go all in, you can also drink a small glass of fresh beet juice in the morning alongside your chia seeds. This is about creating an environment in your body where blood flow is effortless, where your heart doesn't have to work as hard, where oxygen and nutrients reach every cell, every tissue, every organ with ease. That translates to more energy, better focus, improved physical performance, and yes, better erections. Because erections are fundamentally a blood flow issue, and if your blood flow is compromised, nothing else you do will fully compensate. Number 1, magnesium-rich foods or supplementation. This is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's the one most men overlook completely. Magnesium is involved in over 300 enzymatic processes in your body. It's critical for energy production, muscle function, nerve signaling, and cardiovascular health. But here's the kicker. Magnesium is also directly involved in testosterone production. Studies show that magnesium supplementation, especially when combined with zinc, can increase both free and total testosterone levels by up to 24% in healthy men. One study published in the journal Biological Trace Element Research followed older men who supplemented with 450 milligrams of magnesium daily for 4 weeks. Testosterone levels increased significantly, particularly in men who were physically active. Another study found that magnesium deficiency is strongly correlated with low testosterone, and that correcting the deficiency can restore testosterone to healthy levels without any pharmaceutical intervention. But magnesium does more than just boost testosterone. It also relaxes blood vessels, reduces inflammation, improves sleep quality, and helps manage stress. All of these factors directly impact your overall vitality and your ability to perform, both physically and mentally. The problem is that magnesium deficiency is incredibly common. Some estimates suggest that up to 50% of American adults are deficient in magnesium. Processed foods are stripped of magnesium. Chronic stress depletes magnesium. Certain medications like proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux interfere with magnesium absorption. So even if you think you're eating well, you might be running low. Here's how you add magnesium to your chia seed routine. Chia seeds already contain a decent amount of magnesium, about 95 milligrams per ounce. But you can amplify that by adding magnesium-rich foods like almonds, cashews, dark chocolate, or avocado to your chia pudding or smoothie. Alternatively, you can take a high-quality magnesium supplement. Magnesium glycinate is the gold standard because it's highly absorbable and doesn't cause digestive upset like magnesium oxide can. The target dose is 300 to 450 milligrams daily, ideally taken in the evening because magnesium also promotes relaxation and better sleep. What does this mean for you? It means you're addressing testosterone, cardiovascular health, stress management, and sleep quality all at once. You're not chasing symptoms, you're building a foundation. You're giving your body everything it needs to thrive, not just survive. And when you start sleeping better, when you start feeling calmer, when you start noticing strength coming back, when you start waking up with that quiet confidence you thought was gone forever, you'll understand why this matters so much. Let me bring this all together for you. Chia seeds are a good start, but by themselves, they're incomplete. They're operating at 10% efficiency. When you add watermelon for L-citrulline, pomegranate for antioxidant protection, pumpkin seeds for zinc, dark leafy greens or beets for dietary nitrates, and magnesium-rich foods or supplements, you create a synergistic system that multiplies the benefits. You're hitting blood flow from multiple angles. You're supporting testosterone production naturally. You're reducing oxidative stress and inflammation. You're giving your body exactly what it needs to perform at its best. This isn't about quick fixes. This isn't about chasing the next miracle supplement. This is about understanding your body's physiology and working with it, not against it. This is about reclaiming your vitality, your confidence, your sense of self. Because here's what I've learned after 12 years of sitting across from men in my office. The physical symptoms, the low energy, the weak erections, the lack of drive, those are important. But what really matters is how those symptoms make you feel. They steal your dignity. They erode your confidence. They create distance between you and your partner. They make you feel like you're losing yourself. And that's why this matters. This isn't just about biology. It's about identity. It's about feeling like yourself again. It's about walking into a room and feeling present, capable, alive. That's what we're restoring here. Now, I want to be clear. This protocol isn't a replacement for medical care. If you have underlying health conditions, if you're on medications, if you have concerns, talk to your doctor. But for most men over 40 who are dealing with the normal, frustrating effects of aging, this combination of chia seeds plus these 5 targeted additions can be absolutely transformative. Start simple. Pick 1 or 2 of these additions and integrate them into your morning routine this week. Maybe it's adding watermelon and pomegranate juice to your chia smoothie. Maybe it's stirring in some pumpkin seeds and taking a magnesium supplement before bed. You don't have to do everything at once, but you do need to start, because waiting won't make things better. Your testosterone isn't going to magically increase. Your blood vessels aren't going to spontaneously become more flexible. Time is working against you. But action, intentional, informed action, works for you. If you found this helpful, if you're ready to take control, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm here every week with real evidence-based strategies to help you optimize your health, your performance, and your quality of life. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 5 additions you're going to try first. I read every comment and I love hearing from you. And remember this, you're not broken. You're not past your prime. You're not destined to decline. You're just operating without the right tools. And now you have them. Use them. Your future self will thank you.